Mr. Mayor Dave Potter.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you
Excellent.
so much.
Good to have you here in Carmel.
This is my favorite place
That's good. I like that.
from my heart. It's the plenty of beautiful gallery
Yeah.
of the ocean view, and specifically the beautiful atmosphere that we have here.
That's
My guest and yours is David Potter, Mayor of Carmel. Dave Potter, thank you so much for your time.
my pleasure.
The city of Carmel-by-the-Sea has remained steady at between 4,000 residents, yes?
3,900. You're almost right on. Exactly.
No. Carmel was first incorporated as city in 1916. It was founded by artists and writers, among them Jack London, George Sterling, Mary Austin, and Robinson Jeffers. Carmel is a charming and romantic destination renowned for its historic Spanish mission.
Very much so. Father Junipero Serra, the founder of the mission, one of our most popular destinations for people visiting. Also the home of the only canonized saint in the United States. He's actually buried there.
This is how long time you been the mayor in Carmel?
I'm on my second term, so 3 years.
Great.
Prior to that, I was the county supervisor for 20 years. Then I was on the city council and with the city of Monterey for 10 years. So I have over 30 years of experience in local government. Kind of odd.
And people trust you. Congratulations, because this is the reason when this man is many times the mayor. The Seniors Helping Seniors program, implemented by the Carmel Police Department, organize volunteers to make daily calls and welfare checks to the many senior citizens in our community who live alone. This is a perfect example for other cities.
Yeah, it's a wonderful program where you actually have the community taking care of the community. It's very unique. Our median age in Carmel is 59.6. The average age of our council is 59.8. So we're right on that cusp of being a senior community. We do pride ourselves in our services to our seniors, but we're also an incredible community of volunteers. It's one of the most special things about Carmel is our volunteer base.
The seniors help the seniors.
Exactly. My wife's stepdad is 99, her mother is 96, and her aunt is 99. They live together out here, and we're over there all the time. And they have a program which they volunteer and participate in too.
This is the great idea in the world, because not many cities have this opportunity to help each other.
Yeah, unfortunately, American culture is kind of steered away from what the Europeans and the Asian community does, and that's your parents bring you into this world, you help take them out. And I'm sorry to see that that doesn't happen in other communities as much as it should.
I know this is not a big story to develop the volunteer company like here in Carmel, and I propose to everybody who listening us, please take care from the seniors, especially now when this epidemic and people feel very lonely.
Very lonely and very afraid. I mean, honestly, this is a very scary time for any community as this pandemic ravages this country. Fortunately, in Carmel, we've been able to make sure that we do inoculate and we do make sure that people wear their masks. You actually get fined in this town if you're not wearing a mask. And it's important that we go ahead and obey the safety standards that have been set for this country.
We have the mask, but we decide, because we are outside in the beautiful garden, we decide to take off the mask just for you and better.
And I did get tested the other day and it was completely clean, so yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
I am negative.
Yeah, negative.
All the time. It's something reason when we are very in action, we don't have possibility to touch the COVID.
I like it when it's positive to be negative.
It's true. It's true. What's exactly touched my heart in Carmel, this is no chain restaurants. With no fast food restaurants in the city of Carmel, there are only cute cafes and restaurants everywhere. It is an amazing accomplishment and quite an achievement considering the fast food epidemic elsewhere in America.
Yeah, we have a very unique cross-section of restaurants, all different kinds of cuisines from all different countries. We pride ourselves on the fact that We don't want to restrict the businesses. Let's go ahead and let them decide what's best for them. We do convene a weekly business, every 2 weeks we have a business roundtable. We get together with the restaurants and talk about how we're going to survive in this pandemic. Very, very difficult to keep restaurants in operations, as you all know now, with the pandemic and the possibility of communicative diseases. But one of the things we did do was we decided, let's open up outside dining. Let's go ahead, and prior to that we did not have sidewalk dining. We did not have cafe dining as they do in Europe. It's been very, very popular. And I think one of the benefits of the pandemic, oddly enough, will be the fact that we will have, for the long term, we will allow sidewalk dining. It's changed the landscape a little bit, but for the positive. Even the Residents Association agrees that it's a nice idea to be able to dine outside. Better for you, better for the restaurants, and the service is great. So really encourage people to come and enjoy the cuisine that we have here.
It's amazing. It's Italian, it's French and American, but a little bit different, much more healthy. And we enjoy when we come here to Carmel. We enjoy the ocean view, but exactly we enjoy the tasting of the beautiful cafeteria and restaurants. How survive the businesses when is now epidemic?
It's been a real challenge, honestly. 76% of the economy, 76% of the state of our city budget is tourism-based. We're dependent on sales tax, property tax, transient occupancy tax, and special business tax. So we're really going to be having a hard time to balance our budget as we go through the next cycle. We cut 22 employees. We used to have 96. We now have 74 positions. We trimmed our budget by millions of dollars. So it's going to be hard to provide the services. But I think as the community works through the pandemic, I think as the vaccines get out and distributed, I think we'll be all right. But it's going to be a tough couple of years, there's no doubt.
I think Carmel never will be in bad position because the community is very close each other and help each other in the businesses. What's mean everybody buy product for everybody.
One of the things I'm proud about the administration as it exists now is our council has realized that we're better off to work together. So before, when the residents used to be against the business sector, we're now united. So the businesses understand that they're dependent on local services, and the locals understand that the businesses are important to provide the services economically that they need. So for once, we've got it where people are sitting down and having conversations collegially instead of not combatively, and that's a change, a very big change. I'm real proud of my council that we've been able to make that change.
This is the big market. And now my topic, no street addresses. When we walk here, it's like you cross left and you go to the 7, next you go right, and second house. It's very, very difficult. To this day, there are still no addresses, parking meters or street lit, and no sidewalk outside Carmel downtown commercial area. Thus seeking direction, receive lines such as Five House or the east side of Torres Street, green trim, right fence, and go straight. This is exactly unique city in the world. I love this. I know maybe sometimes it's difficult for me, but exactly, I tell you, when you come here, you feel like you are in the magic place. Yeah. How is possible?
Well, it is very unique, especially the fact that we don't have street addresses. It does make it a little odd for people that want to have deliveries done, because your basic mailman, or not, but your delivery man doesn't really know north from south, east, or west. And so when you say this house, for example, is 7th to northwest of Monteverde. So there's only 2 houses on this block, so it's not really that hard to find. But last Christmas, for example, it did have its benefits. I accidentally got an entire delivery of caviar that was sent, actually it was supposed to be 8th to northwest of Monteverde, not 7th to northwest of Monteverde. I did take it over there and return it to the rightful owner, but it was kind of a moment there where I thought, caviar, Christmas, not all bad.
Nice present.
Yeah, exactly, but it wasn't meant to be.
How many times is mistake here?
All the time. It's very, very difficult to get your phone service done.
And the people share each other when something is wrong. People come to the.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tradition. It's one of those things that we're going to have a discussion about it though in the next probably month or so about do we want to go to street addresses, because now that people are forced to be at home, that going to the post office to get your mail is probably not that healthy an idea. That people are wanting more and more delivery. We subsidize the delivery for mail services to people who are unable to go to the post office, but now people are choosing not to go to the post office by choice. It was almost $150,000 plus to go ahead and subsidize the service. We're going to have a discussion about do we want to continue that or not.
Yeah, now it's everything changed, and we need to be much more flexibility with this decision.
Yeah, but it is odd, the thing about streetlights also. There are 25 streetlights in Carmel, but they're not illuminating the entire street front. So in the evening, once the shops are closed, the streets do go darker. We have a few trip and fall lawsuits that come along. They're our most common type of litigation is trip and falls because of the fact that it's hard to see. Also, people do go out and have a couple of drinks and they're apt to be slightly inebriated. That kind of is a contributing factor too. So it's not all our fault.
I know. One time I parked my car and I go for an interview 1 year ago in December. And when it's 5:30, it's a little bit dark. And I lose my car. And I lost my car. I don't know that I have application in my phone. Choose me the car and street. But I am like lost person. 1 hour I walk around the street, and next I remind that the second street, and we go and choose the car.
Well, we are laid out in a grid, so we are, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way down to 13th. And then as we go up the hill, each street has an individual name. So it's really not that hard to figure your way around. But, it is hard to recognize. Finding my car in the dark is a bit of a challenge, I'll admit.
It's a challenge, but please, before you come to Carmel, the beautiful city, you read in the administration website everything what is important to know, for example. This is very, very good, especially for women, because, my dear, this is not to wear high heels. Why?
Well, because of the fact that the pavement is uneven. Now, there was and there still is on the books an ordinance that says you need to get a permit to wear high heels in this town. You basically go in. You can still get one of those. One of our most popular items in the tourist community is to drop by City Hall and get a permit to wear high heels. You don't have to anymore, but it still is on the books, and I suppose it's enforceable if we wanted to, but we're past that now. But it was originally done because of the fact that if you go in high heels, they're kind of hard to walk around anyway, I would suspect. I don't personally know, but my guess is it's a little hard to navigate in them. But anyway, so that's one of the reasons. The other one was that, and this was a myth, but it was kind of came about when Clint Eastwood was in office. But there was also the belief that you couldn't have ice cream cones in Carmel for the fear that you would drop the ice cream and then you'd slip on the pavement. That's actually an urban myth. That never existed, unlike the license for high heels.
Yeah, it's true. What about the Carmel Mission here? It's the beautiful place when many people coming in the Sunday for special mass and enjoy this time. I think many tourists coming here exactly start the visit from the mission.
Yes, actually the mission is one of our most iconic destinations here. We're known for our beach for the mission and for our downtown, honestly. Our beach is world class. It's the only beach in the state of California where your dogs can be off leash, which has its moments, to be honest with you. But again, it's one of those another unique qualities of Carmel. The mission is very, very unique. Obviously, Father Junipero Serra was there and was the founder of it, canonized, and then lately he's been villainized a little bit. But that's the nature of the politics of these days, where it was perceived that he probably wasn't a very respectful and to the indigenous people who were here. That's stirred a great debate, but it still is an iconic destination. I'm very proud of the mission, and it's been a great restoration. I don't know if you've ever seen the photos of it before the restoration. It's actually a ruin, frankly, and to have the community come forward again and restore it speaks a lot to the community as a whole and the church itself.
Yeah, it's beautiful now, and this is my favorite place too. Anytime I visit Carmel, I start or I finish my visit in Carmel in the mission basilic. It's something very, very nice.
Well, unfortunately, the services are not being held inside anymore because of the pandemic. But they're still having them outside, and you can actually live stream them at home, which is great. That's what my in-laws do. They're very devout Catholics, and so they're regular attendees, just virtually. But you can still tour the grounds a little bit, and it's spectacular. Back in the early days of Carmel, there were no trees here. So you could actually see the mission standing alone out in there, all alone. The forest has grown up around the community. The community was here before the trees.
Oh, great. Yeah. How epidemic changed the life of businesses?
Well, if you're doing 25% of your normal business, you're doing fairly well. But in September of this year, several of our restaurants did their best September ever. not just in the pandemic, not just since in comparison to U.S. Open, in any time in the 40 years of the business, which is very odd. You wouldn't think that would be happening. But it was because of the phenomenon of outside dining. It was warm weather. It was pleasant to be outside. People loved coming here. And the restaurants opened up, and it was amazing. Now, with the weather getting colder and the fact that, outside dining is prohibited also, there's now a real recession going on as far as businesses go.
Carmel have many of golf clubs here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, in Carmel, there is no golf clubs. But close by, you've got Pebble Beach,
Yes.
yeah, of course, and there's 5 courses out there. You've got Carmel Valley, you've got Highway 68 corridor. In the 5th District, I believe, which is Monterey, Big Carmel, Big Sur, Carmel Valley, Pebble Beach, and Pacific Grove, and Highway 68 all the way to Salinas. I really believe there's 22 golf courses, which is pretty significant.
Right.
So it's a major portion of our tourism. Our people come here to golf. I mean, Pebble Beach is an epic experience. So on Christmas Day, my wife and I have a new tradition. We used to always go back to Boston to visit with my mother, but when she passed away at 101 a couple of years ago, Janine says, Dave, let's start a new tradition. Let's play Pebble Beach on Christmas Day. Really? So we've been doing that for the last 3 years. It's been fun as hell.
It's just philosophy
about
life, what we're doing, and now we need to be change. We have possibility doing more experience, which we never try because we have more time, and we need to be much more flexibility for everything.
Well, now is the time to be creative and innovative, and so crisis always brings along more creativity, more innovation. So I'm glad to see that our community is amenable to change. I mean, we realize that the status quo doesn't go anymore. We've got to be changed. We've got to be flexible. I'm really pleased to see our community and our residents saying, we understand you need to change. We do need our businesses to at least thrive and prosper. But if now we're just looking about them staying in business, we want them to survive. So that's what we're working on now.
This is the most of smart city in USA.
Well, thank you. I'd like to think that, but
it's exactly. Many times when I travel here, and 2 times per month, and I really enjoy conversation with the people here.
Well, now you know where to find me. Don't be shy.
Yes. First time, but I think no last time. Anytime.
Well, and you know where our location is now too. I won't have to come up the corner and lead you down. Yeah, but you saw how close we are to City Hall too.
Yes.
We're literally, I could probably putt my golf ball there. Yeah, and not even a 9-iron.
I need to invite you, Sir Mayor, to play golf.
I would love to play.
Yes?
Yeah, my wife's very good.
Oh,
I'm okay.
I am not.
Well, that's good, then we'll play.
She wins. Your wife wins. I am not. But it's good. It's good to learn from the masters.
Exactly, the pros.
What is the plan now? I know everybody wants to survive because it's epidemic. But what is the plan, your mayor plan for next step to doing in Carmel?
Well, one of the things I want to do is I want to make sure we get the vaccines out there as quickly as possible. My suggestion is that we go ahead and have our EMTs, our firemen, or paramedics go ahead and administer at a local center here, so you don't have to go out to Laguna Seca, you don't have to go out to CSUMB. And since they're going to be 65 and over, will be one of the demographics that we want to target. That'll help a lot in Carmel. So I'd like to go ahead and get a center set up for the vaccinations up at Carmel High, where you can actually drive through, wait 15 minutes, and then leave. I think that'll be a good transition center. I've also got a council meeting tonight to decide, are we going to be able to go ahead and allow you to what we call picnic in the parking lots, in the parklets, which are your sidewalk dining places. So if it's a public right-of-way, it's a public space, and you don't have tableside service, and you simply order your takeout food, shouldn't you be able to go at least eat it there? But not specific to the restaurant that you bought it at. So you'll be able to dine wherever you want in town at anybody's spot in the town, and I think that'll help too, because otherwise businesses shut down. They can't survive on just to-go food. So if you're allowed to take food to go, but there's no place to go, you've got people sitting on the curbs, you've got people eating on the hoods of their cars, people are eating on the front wall of my property here, and then they leave their trash around. So we've got a real problem with waste now. So we want to go ahead and allow you to dine in any spot you want out in front of a restaurant. Once you go ahead and make sure there's a trash container there, and that there's also a hand sanitizer, so that way you'll be able to say we're being more responsible. There's no science behind the fact that they believe that this is spreading the pandemic. It's not. Outside dining is actually better than inside. And I think actually you're forcing people to dine inside now more than outside. Outside's a lot healthier for you. So we'll put that question to council tonight. We'll see. No guarantee.
The place when people coming with the food is the beach because
Exactly, and then there's litter all over the beach.
yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, people aren't that good about picking up behind themselves. So if you want to get your food at a restaurant, you can take it from one restaurant. You can eat from another restaurant, but it will encourage people to dine more socially distanced. There'll be better health and safety standards in place than just letting people dine all over town anywhere they want.
Everything is safe here. Everything is peace and calm in Carmel, and this is really magic place and the beautiful houses, the romantic architecture here. It's like always touch my heart. And how is possible develop the city, create like this?
So one of the things that people come and ask for a lot of is our zoning ordinances. Nobody actually normally comes to a town and says, wow, this place is really functioning well. I'd like a copy of their zoning ordinance, because it's our zoning ordinance. It's kind of the land use Bible for this town. And so, other places you'd say they were a city. We are incorporated, we are a city, but I'd say we're more of a village than a city. And one of the reasons why is because of the public's passion for preservation of the town as it is. Sure, you're going to change a little bit. There's going to be some changes in technology. There'll be more, innovation, but the quality of this town and the physical landscape will not change.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Because one place in the world needs to be always without no change. It's like New Zealand, Australia, don't change too much. And I really appreciate places like this when it's always constant and peace and calm, close to the ocean, have nice quality of life, nice restaurant. But the most important here is the lovely people.
Well, we are a very, very passionate community. People don't move here and then all of a sudden just say, well, I'm not going to get involved. We had applications for 4 vacancies or 4 appointments to commissions. We've got 4 different commissions that you can volunteer to. We had 25 applicants. Never had that many before. And a lot of them were people that had only been here for a couple of years, but they came here because they wanted to be involved. They wanted to be participants in the planning of this community, so it doesn't change radically. Very, very unique, very odd, but very, very appropriate for this town.
It's like a city or village from the Bible.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
No more words, because for me it's amazing.
We do have a lot of passion around issues, though. One of the issues that's always a hot topic, so to speak, is bonfires on the beach. There's a group out there that thinks that we should have bonfires anytime, anywhere we want. There's a group that says there should be none at all. One of the reasons is because of the air quality. And so everything seems to go to excess, and that's when you have to have regulations on. So one time there was, on one weekend alone, there was 350 bonfires on Carmel Beach, one weekend. Now it was like an inferno down there. The air, you could barely see the beach. So we've ratcheted back, and we now have a trial program where there are a certain number of fixed fire pits in a certain location that are basically smokeless, and then you can have propane fires, which is, in my mind, a lot better and a lot safer from a public health standpoint. But that's a burning issue. Now, it's not homelessness, it's not, drug wars or anything like that. It's things of quality of life issues that are most passionate in this town.
Los Angeles have problem with homeless.
Oh, yeah.
Carmel, no.
Well, we're very, very responsible when it comes to the homeless issue. If you need services, we'll get them for you. We don't have them locally, but we're certainly more than willing to go ahead and make sure that you get the services you need. We do have a couple of characters that are locals that kind of wander the streets a little bit more than others. But no, we don't really have a homeless problem here.
Salinas have plenty.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we drive from Salinas and we see many homeless. Yeah, this is amazing place, and I really appreciate the meeting and your time.
Well, I appreciate your interest, honestly. It's always interesting when people come to town and they say, how does Carmel get to be Carmel? And that's the question you were asking with. I don't exactly know. I don't think there's a real playbook out there for it, but I'm telling you, it's a pleasure to be here. As I said, I'm an accidental tourist here myself. I ran out of gas at the top of the Carmel Hill in 1971, fell into government by accident, and I've been proud to have been part of the process of planning for the future of this area for many years. So it's been an honor. Public service is an honor.
I know. This is I understand, because I've been here 4 years ago first time, and I love from first visit here. I think this is my place in America. I won't live here, and because it's very close to comparative from I am from Europe, and have the small street, many of gallery, beautiful, many arts.
Yeah.
And it's very, very close to everything what I know before.
Well, there's this old desire of by some people to regulate the private sector. Do we have too many wine tasting rooms? Are there too many art galleries? Are there too many Italian restaurants? My theory is that the market should determine that, not local government. So if there's too many restaurants, they'll fail. If there's too many art galleries, they'll start through attrition. They'll start going out of business. So I think that we've got a good balance, and we've allowed the market to go ahead and be independent and not over-governed. So we have some pretty strict ordinances about how you can develop and what kind of signage you can have, those kind of things. But it's a changing landscape out there, and that's good.
Yes, always. And now, private question. I know the mayor of Carmel play golf. And what is your mayor favorite food?
My favorite food? Well, it depends. Now, that's a good question because most people say, what's your favorite restaurant in Carmel? It depends on what I want to eat. If I want to eat French food, I might go to El Escargot. If I wanted Italian, I'd probably go to Vesuvio's. If I wanted seafood, I'd probably go to, maybe Anton and Michelle's. There's so many good restaurants in town that it's a matter of what you want cuisine-wise. If I want French, if I want Italian, do I want seafood, do I want steak? So it's a really mixed blend here. I can honestly say there isn't a bad restaurant in this town. I mean, honestly, I'm not being prejudicial or biased when I say that, but everybody really expects quality food when they come here. And we're known for our restaurants and our restaurateurs.
And not fast food.
No, we don't have any fast food. In fact, there was a debate about that years ago. Should we have to-go, like deli takeaway food? That was a real heated debate. But fortunately, we came to a moderate, a reasonable concession on that. But the passion around food is pretty strong. I mean, the restaurateurs, they're like independent little agencies. They're like hotels. They all want their piece of the market. But I'm also proud of the fact that this time, and partially based on the pandemic, we've been able to sit down and have mature, non-confrontational discussions about what's going to be good for the industry as a whole, not just what's good for my hotel or what's good for my restaurant. That's pretty unique.
Unique.
Yeah.
Unique city, Carmel, and unique mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your interest, honestly.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for this interview. And I believe this is first but not last.
Well, good. And do come back again and let me know you're here. We'll give you a tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is great. I take operator camera and we go here
Yeah.
under the Carmel and we show the Carmel around.
That'd be fun, actually. We could go to different spots and kind of do a little background deep dive under that information.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be the tour house, the beach, so maybe some of the cultural centers, maybe some of our arts.
And we promise to you, we show you exactly how Carmel is beautiful, because now we're just talking about beautiful beach, you know me, and many times I am here, I doing live recording, and the Carmel. But we go and we're doing special tour for you one day of the Carmel of the city.
That'd be good. We'll meet some of the characters that make up our business community and our residents.
Yeah, I want to ask you maybe next recording about businesses.
Sure.
This is very, very important for many people in the world who want doing investment, maybe won't buy property here, maybe won't buy apartment, house, or open restaurant or any business.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. We've got some classic cases too. We've got some classic characters too. Love to have you meet them. And there's no shortages of opinion in Carmel. That's for sure.
Good.
Great.
Good. I am excited. Thank you so much, and see you soon.
You can't avoid it.
Time.